All right, y'all, we are live on this beautiful Bitcoin Pump Tuesday. God bless everybody in the name of Jesus, Yeshua the Messiah. I do pray everybody is super blessed in many ways as Bitcoin is pumping like a wild woman in distress, running through the wilderness with a laundry basket on her head, looking just like Janet Yellen. We're about to get serious up in here today, discussing, first of all, why the pump, what's happening with the pump, and what can we expect in the future. Guys, all our hopes and dreams are coming true. Bitcoin is pumping. We're surpassing our targets from these long trades, from the setups given in the Casper Crew VIP Discord. It's absolutely insane right now. This insane pumpage is going crazy. Can you even believe it, as we're currently making a higher high here? The question is it sustainable? Well, it doesn't look that sustainable, I'll be honest with you guys, all right? But I do have to say, this is a nice sign of strength. I think we can see more push to the upside. As long as we're holding above 94K, there's no reason why we can't squizzle on up to take the highs from right here, all right? Now, when Bitcoin pumps, everyone's in a good mood. I hope you guys are in a good mood. I'm in a good mood. You're in a good mood. We're all in a good mood. We're pumping, baby. We got our first little purple candle here. First indication of a retracement after taking the high. I mean, guys, this is such a critical level. All right, you've never seen anything more critical in your life than the level we are currently at right now. Currently taking the high. All right, we're going to take a look at the order flow quickly, see what's going on. My goodness, would you look at the green machine coming in, if you know what I mean. Got a load market monkey. Wow. That's crazy. We had some bullish CBD forming right around here, and then we had some, this is the 15-minute chart. We had some bullish CBD right here before this big pump, and now we're having people, look at this. I mean, even here we had shorts shorting here under Zivalta. Very interesting move we're having on Bitcoin right now, as we are coming to the top of our local range around $96,500. We got to give a major shout to everybody in the chat right now. Major shout to everybody in the chat. Shout out to Steak Sauce 0. Shout out to not quicker, which means it is quicker. It's probably going to be another Bart Simpson pattern in a few days. Shout out to Tina D, who says good morning. Shout out to McGarrett9980, who says love you, brother. Thanks for everything, legend. Well, I'm not a legend, but I do love you. God bless you. Who's selling everything today? Shout out to Around Town. He says likey Nike. Shout out to Philip Collin. Hello, everyone. Shout out to the CR Sin, who says took lick high, CDDW now short. Big Bitcoin green candle. Shout out to 00 Chris. Let the pump begin, baby. Shout out to Kevin. He says, for the 1K giveaway, shout out to the like button. He must have sung the punk song in his sleep, baby. Samuel S44 says, more pump. Kevin says he better open with the pump song. Shout out to Pirate Mantle Official. The Santa rally is just starting. If you think this pump's big, wait till the gold and silver profits rotate into Bitcoin X. Shout out to Rockin' Rooster, who says this is a liquidity grab. Shout out to Around Town, who says, yeah, Bitcoin is up. Bitcoin is like the movie Up. Shout out to Frankie Pad. Shout out to Loco for Crypto, who says hello, and Flippa Frank. God bless you, Flippa Frank. Nick Chat, ground control to major pump. Shout out to Fighter Pilot and Nagalion from Holland. What's going on? Shout out to IU Shkupta from India. God bless you. Shout out to Online. He says, bro, you nailed this pump, baby. Well, look, yesterday, man, did we not say we were gonna take the low and then get a move back up? That's exactly what we said yesterday. If you were here yesterday, that's what we say. All right, we were waiting for the move down to take this, and then boom, baby. Right? And, this is the trade we gave in the dang Casper Crew on Monday morning. All right, we are currently not only taking liquidity, but coming into a local value area high. But basically, look at this setup given yesterday. All right, in the Casper Crew, we want to see bull divs on the 12, 6, and 3. We were live watching it yesterday in this consolidation, saying, setting us up real nice for some bull divs if we take that low. And of course, we take the low, and bam, baby. I mean, kaboom, kabam. Would you look at this? Bullish divergence out the dang wazoo. It's pretty crazy. It is pretty crazy. Now, honestly, guys, I'll be honest. I wasn't even around. This happened at midnight for me. So this is obviously, I've added to the trade from yesterday, all right? The trade from Sunday, actually. If you guys remember, on Sunday, there was a beautiful long trade here from the golden pocket, and so I added to that position here. And I've taken some profits on this, guys. As you can see right now, the long trades, I mean, I have taken about $8,000 of profits so far, all right, across multiple trades here on this pump. So, you know, this is definitely resistance. This is a place to look for a pullback. Let's take a quick look at market cipher B. All right, we got to see what is happening here. All right, we've got to see what's happening here. Make sure to smash up the dang likes, everybody. Now, again, our weekly time frame is printing a hidden bullish divergence. All right, we've been literally keeping our eyes on this ever since the breakdown of the range. So we're talking going back to the middle of November. We've been saying, look, there's a chance that we are going to print a hidden bullish divergence on the weekly. And when we do, we're going to get some relief. I'm expecting about 45%, which potentially could bring Bitcoin up to around $115,000, $116,000. We do have a few areas of resistance before then, but I remember confirming the 3-day green dot back here at the end of November, saying this is a good sign. Now, remember, we are still confined within this sideways range, all right? So there's no reason to be ultra bullish right now. There's still a good chance, actually, that we just stay in the range for a little bit while more, all right? So don't get overly excited. Last time we were in the range, look at what happened. We get the bounce, we come down, we get the green dot, we come up, we come down again, like we chop around for a while, okay? So that being said, we are currently right now coming up to a very important area, which in my opinion is going to give us a bit of a pullback. That's going to be around the $96,300 area up to around, I'd say the $97.5 thousand area. The support resistance flip from Saturday in June 21st. And then the high volume node of this entire range, okay? If we start to come up here and get a pullback from this area, then one of two things happens. In my opinion, either we continue to make higher lows and we do something like this, or we come all the way back down, take the low again, and when we take the low again, that could also give us something very similar to what happened over here, where we get a bullish divergence now on these high time frames like this. All right, again, a bullish divergence is where the price makes a lower low while the momentum makes a higher low, giving us the coveted uneven butt cheek pattern, big on the left, nice and juicy, skinny on the right side to round out the booty. All right, if we go ahead and we take the dang butt cheeks and post them here, all right, you can see the resemblance is striking. So now I want you to imagine we come up to $96,000 resistance, we get a rejection, we come down, everybody's ultra bearish now, but guess what? We are printing hidden bullish divergence plus regular bullish divergence, and that could actually give us a bigger move to the upside. So we are at a very interesting time right now as the Bitcoin price is looking to close our first daily candle, not our first daily candle, but our another daily candle, making a higher high above this key area, value area low of the range. I mean, this is a very important zone here. I'm going to go down to our 4-hour time frame. The 4-hour money flow looking nice. We had some bull div on the 4-hour down here. Let's go down to our 1-hour. See what we got here on the 1 hour right now for Bitcoin. And we've had a beautiful bullish divergence for Sunday's low, and then we had a continuation trigger here for yesterday's low. When we go down to the 24-minute, I mean, you can see very clearly here that the 24-minute actually did give us a beautiful uneven butt cheek pattern as we came to take that low. Big wave, skinny wave. Again, this is exactly what we were looking for in the Casper Crew setup given yesterday. Look at this, man. Casper Crew, we don't miss, man. Look at that entry given, 89,564. Sorry, 89,573 was the entry given, and we were looking for bullish divergence, 12 minute, 6 minute, 3 minute. And so that gives you, like, that's the thing about planning for trades. When you plan for a trade, guys, when you plan for a trade, you know exactly where you're looking to get in. You know exactly what you want to see on the chart to pull the trigger. There's no guessing. There's no chasing price. There's no trying to long after the pump happened. There's no trying to short after the dump happened. You're ready and waiting, all right? It's like going hunting for a deer. You just sit there in the tree for hours and hours and hours drinking coffee, all right? Until all of a sudden a deer just walks your way and you shoot it. I mean, really, it's that simple, man. Compare that to somebody running through the woods with a rifle trying to hunt a deer that way. All right, you people that don't plan for your trades, you're like a person running through the woods with a rifle trying to hunt for deer, making a whole bunch of noise on the ground, scaring those deer away. When the Casper crew at JasonCasperTrading.com, the best trading community in the world, what do? We sit there and we wait in the tree quietly, drinking coffee from our Market Cipher mugs, baby. All right. Wow, look at this. We are failing to get the liquidity grab. I think we could get another pump up to $96,000, $97,000, man. This is quite insane. This is quite insane here. Look at this, guys. I mean, really, if we're not going to take this high and get a liquidity drop, I'd say it's going to be real easy to go for these highs up here. 97.3. Look, I mean, it's just asking to be squeezed right now, man. It's just asking to be squeezed. Look at that. It is just asking to be squeezed, baby. Make sure to smash up the likes, all right? Support us as the problem is on the deer. Shout out to John Doe. Shout out to Splashfire Films. God bless you guys. Shout out to Bean Staku, who says, yo. Shout out to Jacob, who says, bear, 15-minute hidden bear div. Isn't there a CME gap around 89.5? I think we filled it, man. Oh, you're right. We didn't fill it. We did not fill it. We did not fill it. It's jump pumping before the meeting dump. Idiots! Idiots! You freaking idiots! I'm a freaking idiot myself because I'm happy that Bitcoin's pumping. I'm happy today that Bitcoin's pumping, and that makes me an absolute moronic idiot. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it, all right? I'll take it. Now, look, here's the thing. There's a few things that we do need to keep in mind here. First of all, one of the reasons why Bitcoin is seeing a bit of a pump, well, is according to the news. It is because, and this is an older article, it's because the Fed rate cut expectations are becoming more and more positive. In fact, if we take a look here at Fed Watch, we can see that there's a 89.6% chance that tomorrow at approximately 1:30 p.m. Jerome Powell himself is going to take a pair of scissors and cut the interest rates, all right? He's going to do that. And people are saying this is bullish for the market. Now, here's something that we do need to keep in mind as we're watching this insane pump right now. Oh my goodness. Guys, this is the craziest pump I think I've ever seen. The craziest pump I think I've ever seen. Here's something we do need to keep in mind here. All right. When we do have these types of news events, fundamental things happening, rate cuts, a lot of times we do see buy the rumor, sell the news, or a sell the rumor, buy the news, depending on what's already baked into the cake. So the fact that we have a rate cut baked into the cake, we need to be very cautious. Okay, here's why. When you are pumping up towards major resistance, which again, let's go to the chart. What is our major resistance right now? It is going to be our $96,000, $97,000 point of control of the range. Remember, let's not lose sight of the fact, guys. Okay, let's not lose sight of the fact that we are right now. I consider us to be trading in the range that we traded in back in the spring of 2025, which is going to be this sideways range here, guys. So let's win it out, zoom out. All right. The Bitcoin price is back inside of this old range here. All right. That we traded back here. Our next resistance is going to be around $96,000, $97,000, which means until we're above that point of control, it is resistance. And there's no reason, like I said before, why we cannot see the price come up to this area and get a pullback. Either that pullback is going to lead to a higher low where we come down to the Fibonacci Golden Pocket 786 zone like this, or it's actually going to take all the liquidity, potentially even coming down to take this low, but definitely coming down to take this low and then giving us a pump, right? It very well could be an accumulation range down here. And if it is an accumulation range, it is not yet really looking like one because technically speaking, guys, this is what you would consider to be a bear flag, right? technically speaking, if we want to get technical here, what do we have? We have the price making higher highs and higher lows after a big impulse down, which very well could give us, you know, something like this, right? The breakdown. Now, let's fast forward in the future a little. What would it look like if we did something like this? We came to the top, and then we come down, and then we come down, and we take the low, and then we come back in, and then we do something like this. Now, it really is going to look like an accumulation range, right? We got ourselves a nice rounded bottom, very similar to what happened over here, right? This would look healthier. So just bear in mind, tomorrow is a Wednesday. Oftentimes on Wednesday, the weekly highs or the weekly lows get put in. We have a major fundamental event that is going to cause volatility in the markets. Now, I'm not saying for certain we're going to get a major rejection from 96, but I think it is very probable that we get a rejection from somewhere around 96. Now, if we're going to reclaim $96,000, then we have to acknowledge the fact that we are back inside this key sideways range, which opens the door to higher prices, such as the Fibonacci Golden Pocket at around 108, or the value area high at around 116, confluence with the dang volume profile, right? Look at that. That is wild. But this is not actually the profile I wanted. I wanted more something like this here. There you go. Right? That would open the door to higher prices. Now, again, I would say this. If we don't reject from 96, then I'd say this weekly bullish divergence has a much higher chance of playing out and the bottom already being in. I think 96 is a real make it or break it level for us to determine whether or not price wants higher or lower. Now, here's a third scenario because, you know, obviously scenario one, we pump right through 96 and hold. Scenario number two, we reject from 96. Let's talk about something different. You know, it has been, if we go even to the weekly chart now, literally, it has been this is our third week that we have been chopping around this level. All right, 90,500 give or take, very important level. We've been chopping around it. 1 week rejected, second week doji candle, third week so far we're above it, but who knows what could happen by the end of the week, right? So we might see similar chop around this area. Okay, we might see similar chop around this area, which can make it very difficult for higher term time frame traders to get in, because when you have chop like this, it is very difficult to get into a trade. Because, you know, you might say, oh, we're above the level. Whoop, just kidding. Oh, we're above the level. Whoop, just kidding. Whoop, we're above the level. Whoop, just kidding. Right? So we might see something like that as well. Check out the Bitcoin price now. We are currently trying to hold above 94,150, which is going to be a very key level. 94,150, guys. That is this previous high here. The previous high from December 4th, 2025. All right, in case you guys don't know, December 4th is the day, December 4th, 2024. I'm sorry, yeah. December 4th, 2024 is the day Bitcoin first hit 100,000. And if we can hold above this yellow line, we're getting vacuum sucked up to this next yellow line here. So this requires us to dig down to low time frame market cipher B. This pump does seem very unsustainable locally, honestly. I'm going to be honest. But here's what we see as well. We do see some slight bear div with the money flow on the 12-minute. That is for sure. 24-minute. We do have some bear div on the 24-minute as well, guys. Okay? We actually are seeing some low time frame bear signs after a visually unsustainable pump here. So I would be super cautious longing this, please. I would be super cautious longing this, but the way I'm going to look at it is myself already being in long trades. I'm looking at it as, well, if we can hold this level here, then more upside is probable. And if we lose it, then we're looking for a bit of a retracement coming down to probably at least, let's go ahead and pull our voluminous profiles up in here. What a crazy range this has been, honestly. Yeah, probably looking to come back down to around 91.3, around that golden pocket high volume node here. At the very least, we're talking about 93.2. But as long as we can hold, we can hold. Let's check out the order flow again here. We are having... Let's go down to our 1 minute chart here, because obviously we're seeing some longs starting to open up. Hang on, that's the 5 second. You know, we're not seeing necessarily bearish CVD here. We're not necessarily seeing bearish CVD yet. It just seems very unsustainable. I do have a feeling that we're going to get some kind of a pullback from here, just based on market cipher, the 24-minute top, the 1 hour potentially forming a top with the bearish div. I mean, this is a pretty bear div here. I mean, if we just look at the 1 hour from the high back here on December 2nd, the money flow on December 3rd to our current money flow and momentum, it is coming down here. This does not look very sustainable, honestly. It does not look very sustainable right now. But I just feel in my bones, and I know you shouldn't be trading with your bones, but I do just feel in my bones that we can come up to hit that high volume node. I feel like it just makes the most sense to me. Maybe not happen today. Maybe we get some move down, but I think maybe tomorrow leading up to FOMC, we could get another bit of a pump here. And that could give us our weekly high. Okay. Where's my stop loss, Jason? There is no stop loss. Ha 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 ha. They know people will be super cautious, so we will just do mega pump. I hope so. I hope so. Elon probably injected some fuel a few days ago. It's so annoying how this junk can pump and have nothing about it sustainable. Goofy digital garbaggio. Well, goofy digital garbaggino. Let's go to our 1 minute chart here. Let's see if we are able to make a lower low on the 1 minute here. Looks like we're about to make a lower low on the Uno minute. All right. You guys ever play Uno as a kid? You guys ever play Uno as a kid? We ever so slightly have taken that low here. We have ever so slightly taken it out. Check out the 12 minute here. Money flow still looks good locally on the 12 minute. Macroly, not so good here. Macroly, not the best. Microly looks okay. All right, let's put another alert down here. Any Discord Christmas deals? We do have some Black Friday deals going on. I think still, actually. I still think we have some Black Friday deals. Let me just double check this. Yeah, we do have some Black Friday deals going on, all right, at jasoncaspertrading.com. So, let's go zoom in on our 5 minute here. The reason why I'm monitoring this is because I'm contemplating shorting this now. I'm contemplating shorting this right now. In case of major dump. I mean, this is a big... Oh my goodness. Wow. Wow. Okay. I'm going to take a short just as a hedge. Just as a hedgeonomy. Alright. I'm going to take a little short here. As a hedge. Alright. Alright. Alrighty. Let's see what the Bitcoin's gonna do, baby. We're schlong right now. That's called being short and long. Alright. Reason for the short, guys, is because, well, I'm pretty long right now. I'm pretty long. And, you can see that I'm already up quite a bit in profit. And so I'm risking a few $100s on the short. Just to kind of hedge against any, you know, whatchamacall, losses of profits here, all right? Okay, all right, man. Possible rejection and short. Yes, possible CDW rejection and short. All right, Fear of Paul is shorting right now. Guys, this is not financial advice, okay? I'm not a financial advisor. If we do come up a little bit higher here, we've made the break of market structure. So if we get a retracement back up into the golden pocket, wherever that may be, I will add another $50,000 to the short. I might not get to do that. But I will add another 50 grand to the short. I'm 50 grand short right now. I'm 50 grand short right now. All right. So I'm looking to get $100,000 short. If we can get now, because we've made that lower low. So now we can make a lower high. And we would look to take it back down to some lower prices. Let's take a look here. We're starting to get a little bit of a retracemonte. But let's take a look here at the 30-minute market cipher Bizzle. Where's our 30-minute time frame? Yeah, not market cipher Bizzle. We're going to take a look at the TPO. All right, let's take a look at the time price opportunity chart to see if we have any single prints. Yeah, we do. So, yeah, look at this. I mean, really, 91.4, we have a single print that will be filled. 91,000 is going to be a key level, filling this whole half-hour candle down here. Yeah, we could see a big drop, guys. We could see a big drop here. All right, if we start dropping, we could see a big drop. All right, if we start dropping, we could see a big drop. All right, we come back up to the GP, and I will look to add another 50 grand to this short just to protect myself after getting a liquidity grab with some bearish divergence that are a little significant, honestly. They are a wee bit significant. All right, so let's see. See what happens here. We're going to blow a massive hole in these shorts. We very well may. Henry Cacker says, I love to gamble, huh? Do I love to gamble? I don't know. I mean, I don't consider it gambling when, for example, you gave the shorts, you gave the long trade, like literally to the dollar, with very clear confirmations as when to get in, right? Very high probability setup, waiting for the right opportunity. And also being long from the other setup that you gave earlier in the dang week. Well, actually, it was last week. With also very clear confirmations, high probability setup. Being $8,000 in profit. And then risking a couple $100 because you're seeing the potential of a massive move to the downside because you're already up, you know, $6,000 in unrealized profit. I don't see how that's gambling. Actually, I think it's responsible. It's actually more irresponsible of me not to hedge myself when I'm $6,000 unrealized, having already realized $8,000. Right, so we're 14 grand in profit total, and now I'm gonna risk at. I'm looking, if we get a retracement, to risk about $700-800 out of 14,000 to protect my capital. How is that gambling? How in the world is that gambling? I'd say that is responsible trading. I'd say that is responsible trading. But I don't know. Who knows, man? Who knows? Tor 80R says drop it like it's hot, baby. He says drop it like it's hot. Dang, I don't know if I'm going to get that retracement now where I'll be able to add another 50 grand into the short trade here. But whatever, it is what it is. Just close your longs. No, you can't close the longs, guys. Why would I close the longs? All right, look, if you're in an entry like so, you don't just close, you take partials. You take partials, all right? Because right now, what we have here is continuation of the uptrend, right? So let's be honest here. Let's be honest here. This trade, originally, I took from over here, okay? I took it from over here. I held it all the way up. I held it all the way down. I held it all the way up. I held it all the way down. But guess what I did? I did take a partial profit, okay? When I got another confirmation of good bounce, guess what I did? I added to the trade, trail the stop loss with the trend so that you can make profits consistently on the way up. So same here, right? If we come down to the 91.3 area that we're looking for, $91,000 zone, guess what? Now I can assess the situation. If we start to bounce, I can add to my trade so I have another perfect entry, right? I've already made $4,000 no matter what. And guess what? If we don't bounce from here, guess what? Guess what? I've taken the short as protection against my long. So worst case scenario, long gets stopped out, $4,000 profit. By that time, this short trade will be up a couple $1,000s. So that's why you don't close the long. That's why you don't close the long. You take a partial. You take a partial. It's for the psychology, honestly. It really is good for the psychology when you know that you're protecting your capital, that you're taking your profits, you're waiting for trend reversals, you're waiting for good entries. Like, no need to freak out here, all right? Ain't no need to freak out, baby, if you know what I mean. If you know what I mean, Jelly Bean. Make sure to smash up the likes. Major shout out to Alex O Crypto. Guys, make sure to follow him. Shout out to Pavan Bomnavar. He says, love from India. May Jesus or Shiva bless everyone. Here's the thing. Jesus is God, the creator God. Shiva's like a demonic entity. So I hope that Shiva doesn't bless anybody. May Jesus bless you all. He's the only one that can truly bless you with wealth if he wants to. But Jesus also is the God of all creation. He can bless you with anything, right? So God bless you. May you come to a true knowledge and love of the Lord Jesus, the Messiah, who is the Creator God. Shout out to Yank Yowzer Doing Story. He says, get freaky on the likes. Guys, smash up the likes. All right? Smash up the likes. If we can get 1,000, we have 1,400 people in the stream right now. If we can get 1,000 likes within the next, I'm gonna set a timer for 5 minutes. We're gonna do a $1,000 giveaway. All right? Excuse me. Let's set a timer here. I'm gonna set a timer for, you know what? We'll do 6 minutes and 11 seconds, guys. 6 minutes, 11 seconds. All right? 1,000 likes, we'll do a $1,000 giveaway. Smash it up. Smash it up. Let's see. Yeah, we're smashing up the likes. Let's smash up the likes, baby. Let's smash up the likes. What happens when you add to a trade? Okay, when you add to a trade, guess what? It will increase your entry up, okay? It will increase your entry up. So when you add to a trade, it will increase your entry. So originally I was long from here on Sunday. All right, I added to the position and it moved my entry up to here. That's what happens, all right? It will also increase your liquidation. All right, so make sure you got your leverage on check and all that kind of good stuff. Make sure you got your leverage in check and all that good stuff. All right, guys, we are coming down right now. Bitcoin price. Let's check where the VWAP is as well. All right. The VWAP is way down here. 91.8. Our first single print to be filled is going to be 92.9. And after that, we're looking at 91.4. 91.4 down to around 90,800 is a pretty key zone right now for a bounce. So let's go ahead and pull our local fib here. Yeah. This is really where we would be looking for a move to the downside. That's where we'd be looking to a move down. When would adding to the short be invalidated? If we make another high. You know, if we make another high. Preparing for it says, looks like we're going to flag here. We very well may. We very well may. Again, guys, what I'm doing here is definitely not financial advice. I've explained clearly why I've taken the short. All right. This short is to protect my longs in case this is really going to be a major move to the downside. Why could it be a major move to the downside? Let's talk about why it could be a major move to the downside. Right now, it is because we have come to the top of a range and we are not able to close the half-hour candle above the level. All right. And if we turn on Market Cipher B, we are seeing that the money flow is getting lower. Okay. And we are seeing that the momentum waves are getting lower on our 30-minute time frame, even on our 24-minute time frame, which is now printing the red dot here. And so it could be just as fast of a move up, could be just as fast of a move back down. We have something called single prints here, which are basically just means we had a fast move up, so we could fill it, right? And so for that reason here, the fact that I'm in not many, but I'm in a couple longs, I've got thousands of dollars of unrealized profit. For me, right now, risking a couple $100 shorting this is more worth it than not, okay? Because if it gets stopped out, and right now with a $50,000 position, my stop out price is about going to be $400. Let's say, including fees. All right, so I lose $400 here, but I'm up $6,500. Get what I'm saying? Or let's say we do come down. Guess what? Then the short trade is going to be up like $2,000, and that's going to offset the loss that I will be accruing as the long trades lose value, right? And then when we come to this area, I can decide: do I want to add to the long trades and ride it back up with fat positions, or do I not want to do that? Right? That's why I'm shorting this now. I want to be ultra clear. I want to be ultra clear. I want to be ultra clear. Do I need to use your affiliate exchange to join the VIP Discord? No, Matt. No. How long did I walk? I've been walking a long time. I've been walking for a long time. FOMC interest rates in less than 24 hours. Yes, guys. I mean, tomorrow, and we are going to be live for FOMC, but I do believe we are going to see some insane volatility coming in tomorrow. While we are looking at the Bitcoin price here, I'm going to set an alert in case we're back at this high. Okay. I'm going to set an alert in case we're back at the high. And I'm also going to be taking a look now at ETH. Look at ETH. My goodness. My goodness. My goodness. Okay, so this is really good, guys. Yesterday, what did we want to see? We want to see a candle close above $3,099. All right. We want to see a candle close above $399. And we did see that. And now we're making another higher high. This is looking really bullish for ETH, man. I am not going to lie. This is looking really bullish for ETH. We are ripping through some of these stop losses here, and there's a very high chance, I say, that we come up to 3,700 and then 4,000. A very high chance. Let's take a look at our weekly market cipher B on ETH right now. Okay, so ETH is printing the trigger wave on the weekly time frame. Trigger wave on the weekly time frame. Let's check out our 3-day. We've well confirmed the trigger wave on the 3-day, which actually, technically speaking, is a hidden bullish divergence. I believe we are going to see some major relief here on ETH. I think we can get a move up to 3,700 value area low, no problem. 4,000, no problem. You can see 4,000, guys, is this key level that we've respected going all the way back to 2021. All right, resistance, 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 resistance. Glorified fake out. If we reclaim 4,000, I believe, even if we are heading into a bear market, which I still hold to, I still hold we're in a bear market, okay? If you don't understand why I say that, go back and watch literally every single video I've made since October 6th. But Bitcoin does not have to make new all-time high in order for ETH to see a new all-time high. at $5,500. All right, we are potentially right now forming what appears to be a giant inverted head and shoulders. All right, which has a very high target of about $8,000 ETH, which I don't think we can do yet. All right, I don't think we can do that yet. I think we're gonna have to wait until I think we're gonna have to wait through some bearishness in 2026 before the summer fall of 2026, when we actually start to go into another big run up. But I still think that ETH can take this liquidity and then see head down quite a bit, and maybe even come back down to 2,000 or so, right? I think honestly, I would be looking at it to probably do something like this, come back down to here, and then we could head into the real pump up to $8,000. That's kind of where I'm leaning right now. But based on all these things, ETH is looking really nice. Let's take a look at the ETH Bitcoin chart. ETH Bitcoin chart here is also looking really nice, guys. I mean, let's go to the monthly chart on ETH versus the Bitcoin. What has happened here, guys, is we have actually come and we have reclaimed this POC with a really bullish weekly candle. We've retested it, and now look at this. We're, you know, obviously this is a monthly chart, but if this December candle closes blue, that's going to be a bullish engulfing on the monthly, which means Ethereum could outperform Bitcoin by about 50%. You know, if we see another monthly candle like the one we saw back here, you know, this was a 40% monthly candle. I don't think it's too crazy. We've seen ETH outperform Bitcoin like crazy. Again, a lot of times as we head into the bear market, we see the altcoins far outperform Bitcoin as we are heading into the market. Now, let's take a look at Solana here, because I think Solana is also in a situation for some potential upside gains here, based once again on our weekly, which is about to confirm a bottom. Again, guys, I just want to point out the fact that even in the most bearish of situations, right? Even in the most bearish of situations, if we take a look at all the green dots that print below the zero line on the weekly time frame, they give us big moves to the upside, even in a bear market. Okay, so it's easy to be blinded by bearishness. It's easy to be blinded by Chop City, but even look at this range on Sol that goes back to the very beginning of, I mean, it's crazy. It goes all the way back to the beginning of 2024. I'm sorry, not the beginning of 2025. Actually, I'm confusing myself now. Yeah, the beginning of 2024. Look at every major dot that we print on the weekly time frame. Even in this sideways range, each one gives us some pretty significant follow through. So why would we think this time would be different? Why would we think this time would be different? The last time we printed a wave anywhere even close to this was back in April, where we saw a pretty significant move to the upside. So again, if Bitcoin can hold support where we're currently at now, and we're not going to lose 74,000, these altcoins are poised for some nice looking pumps to the upside. Again, we have liquidity to be taken to the upside. We have these curved kind of like parabolic moves to the downside. Now, right now, what we really need to see for Sol for a major sign of strength is going to be a reclaim of the POC of this sideways range, and that's going to be coming in literally where we're at right now. So a major sign of strength for Sol. ETH has already gotten confirmation of a uptrend, but we need to see something like this, and then we could easily see around a $200 Solana at least. And if we're going to take a look at Sol versus Bitcoin right now as well, the reason why we look at it against Bitcoin is because, you know, this is going to show, is it looking like it's going to outperform Bitcoin? Okay. And so look at this on the weekly time frame, guys. We're in the sideways range. We have a bullish divergence down here in June. Then we've made a higher high and we've come down. We're currently getting a bounce Ferroni and cheese from the area between the golden pocket and the 76. This is where you would expect a higher low to happen after a change of market structure on the weekly, which means then you would expect a higher high to come in. We could see Solana outperform Bitcoin by about 57 to 60%. Again, if Bitcoin is getting some relief and it's not losing those lows of the macro range, we could see some serious gains for altcoins. Am I calling for new all-time highs? I'm not necessarily saying that, because I do believe we're heading into more of a bearish environment. But it would not surprise me. It would not surprise me if some of these coins that are already so close to all-time highs see all-time highs, right? Do I think Chainlink's going to see an all-time high? I don't think so. Do I think AVAX could see one? I don't think so, right? I don't think so. Even though AVAX looks really bullish, even though Chainlink looks really bullish, I just don't think we have enough time to make new all-time highs on these coins. I do think I think it's eventually gonna happen here, right? I think it's eventually gonna happen here. We might end up seeing AVAX form some kind of like a cup and handle or something, and eventually break out of something like this, right? Leading into next year. But I don't think we have enough time for some of these assets. But ETH is possible, Sol is possible. All right, XR Pizzle. Look at XR Pizzle. All right, we're gonna go to the daily chart. I would say this on XRP, we have that very similar looking squeezable structure here. And although things are not necessarily looking as good for XRP as they are for ETH. I mean, ETH is looking the best right now, honestly. We do have to recognize the fact that we are bouncing from value area low. And if we start to look at the liquidity that we have here on XRP. I mean, even going back since the end of November, like this is just begging to get squeezed, right? Once we squeeze that, we're at the POC. If we can reclaim the POC, the probabilities are highest. We'll make it up to $2.86 at the value area high of the range, right? If we can hold that, well, look at how easily we could squeeze these disgusting lower highs, right? The reason why I say we could easily squeeze it is because when you're looking at market structure like this, right? It's a very unclear trend. Like, yeah, we could recognize it's a downtrend, high, low, lower, high, lower, low, lower, high, lower, low, lower, high, lower, low. But it's not a clean trend, right? A clean trend is something like this. Look at this. You have a clear swing low and a clear swing high, and a clear swing low and a clear swing high, right? On the way down here, it's very unclear where the swing lows and swing highs are, right? It's very unclear. Like, is this the swing high? Is this it? Is this it? Like, it's unclear, right? And so that means that people have been shorting this and they've been trailing their stop losses, right? If you've been short on XRP, you could put your stop here, and then when you see this happens, then you move to your stop is here, right? Then you see a rejection, your stop can be here, you move it here. And so when we start to come up, we're stopping people out, and as we stop people out, that's a buy order on the order book, which pushes price up. Short stop losses push the price up. Long stop losses push the price down. They push the price down. Bitch likes me, but to say altcoins can't reach an all-time high is very wrong. Well, I'm saying some I think can, but others I don't think can. Like I would, if AVAX is an all-time high, I will be shocked and appalled. I would be shocked. I would really be shocked if AVAX can hit an all-time high within the next few months. All right, because again, I'm still operating under the mindset that we're heading into about 9 months of sideways and down. All right. So 9 months of sideways and down. I don't think AVAX can get a 1,000% pump within the next few months. If it does, well, amazing. All right, because I hold AVAX and I'm trying to sell at $200. So if it happens, great. Okay, but we need to have a 1,300% pump for me to sell AVAX. All right, I just don't think that can happen. I hope it can. But here's one thing I would say about AVAX, though. All right. This is not financial advice either, but if we look at the chart, I mean, I'm an AVAX bull, like in general, fundamentally. I'm bullish on the project. I think it's a good project. I think it's a good asset to have in your portfolio. Objectively speaking right now, it is also a good buy, right? It's a good buy right now, objectively speaking, right? Even if we're heading into a bear market, it's a good buy. The reason why is because if we look at this here, right, objectively, we ask ourselves, okay, let's say AVAX comes down even lower than it did in 2023, and it comes back down to fill the wick from October 10th. Assuming we eventually hit an all-time high, you're risking 1 to make 17. You put $1 into AVAX, you're risking $1 to make $17. You're buying low, looking to sell high. Objectively speaking, this is a good chart to buy, all right? So even if we're heading into a bear market, I mean, this is not a bad asset to have. I would say the same thing about assets like Chainlink, right? I mean, it's not as good of a buy right now on Chainlink. But even still, I'm bullish on Chainlink in general. Assuming we take the lows from the bear market, this is still almost a 4-to-1 risk-reward ratio. If we don't take the lows and the low is in, it's a 5-to-1 risk-reward ratio. 5 times more upside than downside. Like, if you're looking to DCA into Chainlink, it's not a bad time. This has pretty much been the average price of Chainlink since 2023. October 2023, this has been the average price, right? This is not a bad place to be buying, in my opinion. Not financial advice, all right? Assets that I would not be buying right now, ETH, all right? The time to buy ETH was when we were below 2,000, all right? That was the time to buy back in the spring and in June, all right? In June, ETH was giving us a major buy opportunity, in my opinion. I'd say it's a little bit late for ETH right now, but you do what you want. You do what you want. Solana, depends how you look at it, right? If you're looking at the low being 100% in, then yeah, it's a good time, okay? But here's something else. Assuming that the low is in, and assuming that we make a slightly higher high, it's only 3 times more reward than risk here, assuming a $300 Solana. It doesn't really become worth it unless you're shooting for a $360 Sol, which could happen. It could happen. But even still, it's only a 4-to-1. I would rather wait until we come down a little bit more for this specific chart, right? Notice the difference between the Sol chart, where we're buying, like up here, and in October 2023, we were way down here, compared to, let's say, AVAX, where in October 2023, we were in the same spot we are now, right? I mean, we're literally, price is the same now as it was then, right? So it's a much better chart to buy. But that's why you have to do your own risk management before you take any position, right? You ask yourself, first of all, do I have a reason to get in? I could build a case right now to get Sol now, which is we formed a support resistance flip going all the way back to 2021. We formed liquidity. We swept the liquidity. We come back inside the range. Now we're currently bouncing from the value area low, making a local higher low. And we should now shoot then for a higher high. And so, yeah, you could build the case that way, right? You could. But it's all on an individual basis. And if you want to learn how to do all that stuff, make sure to check out the Jason Casper YouTube channel, because I have a free trading course. A 100% free trading course. All right, 100% free trading course. Go to playlists, go to Jason Casper free trading course, where you will have 18 sessions on exactly how to come to the charts, a blank chart, and make a comprehensive plan and be profitable over time. All right. All right, let's check it out. So Bitcoin, back to our Bitcoin trades here. All right, this is the 15-minute chart, half-hour chart. We have about 13 minutes left until we close the second half-hour candle below the level, which means we have about 13 minutes left until we close an hourly candle below the level, which does open the door for more downside. All right. Let's check out Market Cipher B on the 1 hour. Yeah, so we do have the potential to print a bearish divergence on the 1 hour, which with the money flow, which could give us a bit of a flash crash down to, I mean, let's go ahead and put on that TPO chart again. The first place, it would just be basically coming down to 92.9, 93,000. But then, yeah, you could see this 1 half-hour candle here. We spent no time in this zone. We could get a wick down to like 91K, right? Not saying it's going to happen, but let's wait and see how this hourly candle closes here. And especially if we start to print a red dot here, that will be bearish money flow, bearish momentum, and we would get a move to the downside. All right. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right. We're forming the hook pattern here, guys. We're forming the hook pattern right here. The old hookaroni. The old hookaroni. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to Curiosity. I shorted 88K. My lick is 101. What should I do? I don't know, man. You should go check out the free course. Go look at this session right here. How to use risk management to become profitable. And this will answer your question for you. All right? That will answer your question for you. If you have to ask the question, then no offense, you probably should not be trading. I mean that respectfully. I mean that respectfully. Shout out to Harit Sharma. What is going on? God bless you. Jason had a cheesy broccoli soup for lunch, and I'm driving my coworkers crazy. How can I stop this gas situation? It's not stopping. Oh, you're driving your coworkers and you have to fart. Well, there's a technique you can use where you press the rectoral muscles into the seat. This cannot work in a leather seat car, all right? It has to be material in such a way that the gas is forced into the padding below, and the padding acts as an absorber, all right? It's very similar to when you were a kid and you thought that filling a paper towel roll filled with dryer sheets would allow you to smoke marijuana in your house without your parents knowing. It's very similar to that, all right? Now, they're still going to know. It's just not going to smell quite like what it would smell like if you hadn't used that technique, all right? So shout out to Vegas Claw. All right, that's the only thing I can say. Good time to short from here? Well, here's the thing. Is it a good time to short from here? I am in a short from here, okay? The reason why I'm in a short from here, I've gone over it, is because of a few reasons, all right? The first reason, and the main reason, is because we came up to the top of the range and we were unable to close the candle above it, okay? We have some bearish divergences and some bearish money flow, and we had a very fast move up, all right? That means we could have equally just as fast of a move back down to around 91K, okay? Now, is this the best short in the world to take here? I'd say no. I'd say the confirmations are a little bit unclear, and I'm shorting this in case we get a major dump, okay? Now, why am I shorting this in case we get a major dump? Well, the reason is because I'm long on Bitcoin from the exact bottom that we made on Sunday, and I'm long on Bitcoin from the exact bottom that we made yesterday. And I'm up right now $8,000 in realized profit, but I'm up $6,000 in unrealized profit, okay? That means if we dump from here and I have not taken the short, the only thing that's happening to me is I'm losing money from that $6,000 of unrealized profit that I haven't taken, all right? If I open the short trade and we dump down, well, this short, the position size I have right now, would be enough to refund me $2,000 of the money that I'm losing on my long trades, right? So I'm losing less in the event of a dump by shorting this, right? I'm hedging against my longs. Now, if this short trade gets stopped out, right now with my current position size, I'll be losing about $400, all right? So I'm currently up $14,000 in trade profit, 14,000. So I do not give a crap if I lose $400 on this short stop loss, because my only two choices is, one, I lose 400 out of 14,000, not a big deal, or as my trades are losing value on the way down, the short trade is protecting some of those losses, right? So I'm putting myself in a win-win situation here by protecting my gains in the event of a massive dump and not really risking anything at all, right, in the event of a pump, all right? Now, I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but 400 out of 14,000 is about like 0.02% or something really, 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 really low. So that's why I'm doing it, all right? So all that to say, that's what is going on here. The toilet paper roll works for you? Okay. MEXC free trade. I do like MEXC, but I'm currently trading on WEEX right now, and I'm trading on Bybit. Well, yeah, and I'm also trading on KCEX. All right, KCEX has the lowest deal on fees. Link in the description for KCEX if you're interested in trading with super low fees. All right. WEEX has some good fees too. I'm all about KCEX though. Yeah, Anthony Lee Crypto, he says uncovered vectors on this entire move up. Be careful. Yeah, be careful. I mean, fast move up, you could easily have just such a fast move down as well. What if it hits the short stop loss and then reverses? Then I'm screwed. Then I'm screwed, you know? Then I'm screwed. Then I'm gonna get out of here with like 7 grand in total, probably. You know? Can tomorrow FOMC be a sell the news event? I believe it can be, right? I really believe that tomorrow can be a sell the news event. Oftentimes we do make our weekly highs on the Wednesday, and we are coming up to a very important area of resistance on the chart, guys. Like, let's not forget the very important area of the chart that we have, which is this, all right? The $96,000 major high volume node. All right, the $96,000 major high volume node right here. All right, Roop. Rap. Yeah, so coming up between, I'd say 96. Also, like, I'd say the support resistance flip that we have around here, it's gonna be very, very important resistance. Also, we pull the fib from the last swing high to the low, and you can see we've got our Fibonacci golden pocket up here. Yeah, this, like I said at the beginning of the stream, this is where I'd say if we're going to come and make a pivot high is going to happen, where either we make a higher low and break out, get major relief up to the top of the range, probably, given the weekly hidden bull div, or we do a liquidity grab of the lows. And then I'd say we still have a good chance of coming up potentially to like, you know, 106, 108, you know? So that's kind of how I'm looking at this now. I'm looking at it now. We got 4 minutes until the hourly candle closes here. Do I have a dump song? I don't. I don't have a dump song. Tether dominance rolled over from the trend line. Let's check out the tether dominance right now, guys. Let's check out USDTD. USDT.D. Nice. This is actually what we want to see, guys, for some serious gains on altcoins. This is what we want to see. Let's check out the total crypto cap here. Money is coming into crypto. Money's coming into crypto. It's going out of stables, and it's going into... Looks like it's going into alts, man. It's going to Bitcoin and alts right now. Check out Bitcoin dominance. Beautiful. Oh my goodness, beautiful. Bitcoin dominance coming down. Altcoin dominance going up. USTD dominance going down. This is telling us money is coming into the crypto market. The money is not going into Bitcoin. The money is not going into stable coins. The money is going into altcoins. And we're seeing some insanely bullish looking altcoin charts showing us that we very well may get a big old pumperoni and queso on some of these altcoins. I do need a dump song. The Christmas pump is coming. We have we ever had a Christmas pump since 2020? I don't think so. You know, I don't think so. ETH needs to break the Gareth Salloway line. Yeah, that's true. All right, Florida J. I know something about tomorrow. Wait for it. MicroStrategy gave a hint already. What is it, Florida J? You can't just drop that in the chat. You can't just drop that in the chat and not tell us what it is, bro. Come on, man. Come on, you can't just drop it in the chat and not tell us what it is. You know? The dump song should be doom metal. I'll have to write a dump song. Florida J, man, let me know. 001 Square says, we don't need a dump song. That happens without assistance. That happens without assistance. Tomorrow we'll decide whether bear or bull market. I don't think so. I'm still going to go with we're in a bear market. We're in a bear market. And this is just a retracement. Well, you guys know my position. If you don't know my position about the market, put a 1 in the chat. If you do know my position, put a 0 in the chat. If you guys know my position, put a 0. If you don't know, put a 1. About what I think about what's happening right now with the market. I've been talking about it nonstop. All right. Yo, the Clip Cult. Shout out to your brother Yusuf. God bless Yusuf. The Clip Cult's brother. May the Lord bless you in Jesus' name. I did not write the instrumental of the pump song. I had another song called Pump Bitcoin Straight to 100K, which I did write the instrumentals for. All right, so it's a mixed bag, you know. It's a mixed bag in here. A lot of people know. A few people don't know. Essentially, guys, since some people don't know, I'll just say it again. I'll say it again. I'm sorry for getting all southern on you. But essentially, I'm looking at this as a sideways range. I believe the top is in based on 2 major indicators that I've given the top every single time. The 2-month bear div and the monthly market cipher B below the 60 line. Okay? So, because we're forming a weekly green dot, historically, in the bear markets, the weekly green dots give us major pumps. All right? We're forming a big old, very oversold wave here. So I'm expecting relief to happen on Bitcoin. That relief is potentially even going to take us back above to a new all-time high. But when we come up to the new all-time high, things are going to look so bearish. The weekly market cipher B will look like this. The money flow will be getting even lower, and there's no way it's sustainable. Historically speaking, we are in for 9 months of sideways and down, okay? Based on the halving cycle, based on the high time frame indicators, all right? This does not exclude this range to continue on for a little bit. All right, I expect 2026 to be sideways and down, which means by the time we come to the fall, right, summer, fall of 2026, that's where I expect us to bottom out and begin the big move back to the upside. All right, that's my overall view. I expect 2026, the first 3 quarters to be sideways and down, and then as we get into, you know, September, October, November, December, which is a third of the year. Not a quarter. I expect it to start to reverse again. And so even if we make an all-time high here, I'm going to be looking for a short trade. I'm going to be looking for a short trade upon a new all-time high, right? It's very similar to what happened over here, right? We entered into the bear market. We had all the confirmed signals upon that first high. We stayed in the range. We came to the top of the range, came back down, and then boom, all right? There's also a chance that that's already happened, though, right? Like, for example, we made our high, our low, our higher high, our higher low, our dead cat bounce, and then boom, right? So this could be our dead cat bounce, and we reject from, you know, around, let's say 108 or so, and then boom, eventually come down, right? So that's how I'm looking at it. On the high time frame, I'm expecting lower throughout the next year. On the medium time frames, I'm expecting some serious relief to happen within the next few months. I expect altcoins to outperform Bitcoin. I expect Bitcoin to have some relief. Coming up to, you know, between the various targets we have along the way up, right? But I do expect some more downside, and I expect us to take out $70,000 and backtest the previous cycle all-time high, at least. And in a very worst case scenario, so if the 4-year cycle is dead, again, where we're not going to see a 70% pullback, then I would expect the low to come in this zone right here. All right, right here at the golden pocket. If we are going to see a 70% pullback, then I expect the low to come in this zone right here. And the reason why I think that is because until we see something different, we should expect everything to be the same. So if we look at the historical Bitcoin cycles, and we go to the 2-week chart, for example, and look at all of history, every single bear bull cycle, we come down to the 786, 886 fib retracement 1, 2, 3, 4 times. And that means if the pattern is going to repeat and institutional money is not going to prevent the big pullback, yeah, we're going to dip below 40K. All right, we're going to come down right around to 40K. That's the target. If institutional money is going to keep us from getting the dip, then I would expect that we come down to the mid 50s to mid 60s around the Fibonacci golden pocket to come and back test this major support resistance split that we've had going all the way back to 2021. All right, which is the previous cycle all-time high, which historically has not been our sport, right? I mean, this was the previous cycle all-time high here, and we did dip below, right? We did dip below. So to hit that 786, right? So that's my overall view. I could be way wrong, so this is not financial advice. We have closed an hourly candle below the level. Let's see what market cipher B looks like now. Again, I also want to say, guys, I'm a huge Bitcoin bull. All right, I'm a huge Bitcoin bull. I love Bitcoin. I have literally made millions of dollars in Bitcoin since 2016. I love Bitcoin. I'm a perma bull. I'm expecting Bitcoin to go to $500,000 within the next 10 years. And I'm holding it as a big portion of my retirement fund, okay? So I'm a huge Bitcoin bull. Let me just say that. But at the same time, the majority of the money I've made in Bitcoin has been from buying it after these massive dumps. All right, so the reason why I'm eager and expecting and hoping for a dump here is because I'm bullish. If you're bullish on an asset, you should want it to dump. Would you rather buy Bitcoin at 93,000 or at 40,000? I'd rather buy it at 40,000. If it's going to 500K, which I believe it is, let me scoop up as much as I possibly can. That's my mentality on it. You know, and no hate on people who buy every single week no matter what. Now, that's fine too. If it's going to 500, who cares if you're getting in at 90,000 or 40,000, really, in the big picture. But for me, I'm trying to milk those gains as much as possible, right? But let's just do a little experiment here. If we go from 90K to 500K, that's going to be about a 400% gain. If we go from 40K to 500K, that's going to be about a 1200% gain, okay? That's a 3 times more money if we get that drop down historically, right? If we come down to the golden pocket and eventually we're at 500K, that's 800%. That's double the gains, right? Double the gains. So if we're going to see the same thing we've seen in the last 4 years, we have potential to make double the gains. You know, that's big. Double the gains is big. It's big. You know what I mean? Eating 5,000 calories a day, how big are my dumps? So they're pretty big and they're pretty frequent, all right? 5,000 calories a day. I probably go 2 to 3 times a day, sometimes 4. I have very fast digestion, right? I have no gas, I have no bloating. Most of the time. But yeah, like, so my body's like a machine, man. It's just stuff going through, energy in, energy out, all right? Very good question. All right, let's get the egg code. All right, the silent fart system has to be sniffed, not heard. Yes, you cannot mess up the site. You have to be silent when you dig your butt cheeks into the dang car. All right, so the egg code today is pineapple, guys. If you're not familiar with what eggs are, in the Discord. All right, we do lots of fun stuff. All right. Every single week, we're giving away money. We're doing raffles to give away money for free and paid members, okay? Obviously, paid members win more money, but what we're doing in the Casper crew is these eggs are the currency of the Discord. So if you're in here, you can win eggs basically by playing these games that we have, all right? The blue stuff is for VIP members only. Purple is for everybody. Casper Crew Game Day we do every month where we give away thousands of dollars. It's really fun. And then, of course, in here, we have the prizes that you can enter with your eggs to win money. right? To win money and VIP memberships, the way you get the eggs is playing games or coming in here in the quest channel and claiming your eggs with the secret code. And today, for this stream, the secret code is pineapple. All right, go ahead and click pineapple. If you're VIP, you get 5 eggs. If you're not VIP, you get uno egg, right? But these eggs are redeemable for prizes. And the top 10 egg holders every single month are eligible for a $500 raffle as well. So we do it because we want people who put a lot of value into the community to get value out of the community as well. Value in, value out. It's kind of like eating 5,000 calories a day, if you know what I mean. It's like eating 5,000 calories a day. Yeah, the code word is pineapple. All right, shout out to Lionite. He warms up with 225 on the bench. Well, I believe it, honestly. I don't doubt from looking at your picture here. You look pretty jacked, and you're posing next to a bikini competitor, which means assuming you're in a relationship with that bikini competitor, that would make you also probably a competitive bodybuilder, because I don't think normal people date competitive bikini girls unless they themselves are also into that lifestyle. Otherwise, you just can't relate. You just wouldn't be able to relate to each other most of the time. Most of the time. I can't say that. But I believe you warm up with 225 on the bench. All right. I warm up with the bar. I'm a classic bro bench presser. A classic gym bro bench presser. I go to the gym. I get just the bar. You know, rep out 20, 25 reps, 135. You know, rep out 15, 20 reps, 185. You know, rep out 10. Then I'm up to my 225 and beyond. All right. Bro bencher. And then, of course, as every bro does on chest day, what do we do after the flat bench? Incline dumbbell press. Finish with some pec deck. Finish with some cable flies, you know, coming up like that. It's just not a chest day if you don't finish with some kind of fly movement, you know. And then on leg day, I do the same thing I do on chest day. Bench press, incline dumbbell press, and flies. And on back day, I do the same thing I do on chest day. On arm day, I do arms. And on shoulder day, I do chest as well. Why not create a coin for my community? I thought about it, and then I realized that everyone who creates coins ends up getting labeled a scammer and ends up in legal trouble, and I just don't want anything to do with that, honestly. You know? Can you get a jacked chest if you use your plunger on your chest every day? Yes. Yes, you can, honestly. Start with the fly movement. No. That's not how gym bros do it. That's not how gym bros do it, Pegless. See, you don't understand. Us gym bros, we don't care about anything besides chest day and doing bench press first. All right? It's very important when it comes to working out that you understand the most important thing is chest day and doing bench press first. All right? Because your value as a man and as a human has to do with how much can you bench. All right? And we're not talking about benching with good form. We're talking about having a spotter literally help you lift the bar up. You like this, nice and shaky, drop it down as fast as you can, free fall speed. Hopefully, you're not going to break your rib cage as you bounce it off, arch your back, butt off the bench, all unstable, feet going everywhere, just so you can almost lock out and have your spotter help you and tell you it was all you. That's your value as a man. Whatever number is on the bar for that one rep is your worth as a man. Okay? So we don't do flies first. If you do flies first, you won't be able to bench press that one big lift. All right? know, John Ploney knows. He knows. See, I'm preaching the Jim Bro gospel right now. Oh, she's your wife, Lion Eye? Okay, then you're married then. I don't doubt you warm up with 225 on the bench, bro. Yeah, we're still walking, baby. We still walk. Yeah, don't forget the partial reps. Yeah, that's true too. Shout out to Anthony Lee Crypto. Guys, check out Anthony Lee Crypto on YouTube, all right? Yeah, chest is the most important muscle of the human body, for sure. For sure. I always think to myself, like, what if I'm in a situation where one of my kids is about to get run over, God forbid, by a tractor trailer truck? What I would do is I would run out into the middle of the street in front of my kid, lie down on my back, and wait like this for the truck to come. And as the truck is about to run over me and my child, I will bench press that truck up to save the life of my child. If I did not build my chest in the gym, I would not be able to do such an amazing feat. All right? If you don't rip your front tilt, it doesn't count. Oh, man. Have I ever had a major injury? Praise the Lord, I never have. And praise the Lord, I'm being very sarcastic about what I said about the bench press. But no, I never have had a major injury. And the older I get, the more conservative I am about training like an old man. Okay? I train like an old man. I warm up a lot. Like, I don't deadlift without doing like band pull aparts first, and like making sure doing some pull-ups and some band pull aparts before I even deadlift. I always do some ankle mobility, some hip mobility before I squat or deadlift. I do mobility 3 to 4 times a week, mostly focusing on thoracic extension, shoulder mobility, hip mobility, ankle mobility. I try not to ego lift. It's hard. It's hard not to ego lift, but here's the thing. If you're conscious about not ego lifting, then at least it'll take it down to a degree. You know, I bit the bullet. I started using a Smith machine, which I love. I love the Smith machine. You know, back in the day, I used to think the Smith machine was the gayest thing in the world, all right? I used to look down upon you Smith machine users. Saw a guy in the Smith machine, that dude's gay, all right? But now here I am, that gay dude on the Smith machine. The Smith machine, man, I love it. You know, it's very safe, it's very stable. Do some Smith machine hack squats, really target those quads. Some Smith machine Bulgarian split squats. I mean, I love the Smith machine now. Smith machine bench press. Man, I know the Smith machine bench press, the least manly exercise in the world. The Smith machine bench press is even less manly than that thing the girls do where they do their legs in and out like this. All right? A guy should never be caught dead on that machine. But Smith machine bench press, I think, is worse than that. But I do it now. I am a man in my mid-30s. Okay? I am a man in my mid-30s. Yeah, the Smith machine really is what's up, John Boy 89. I love the Smith machine. Do I ever get used to the pain every day as you recover? You don't get pain every day as you recover. If you're training consistently, you shouldn't really get sore. You might get a little bit sore, but I could have the most brutal. When I say brutal, I keep my workouts really short these days too. I'll probably do like maybe 3 sets most per exercise. At the most, sometimes 1 set. But there are times where I think for sure I'm gonna have some serious like chest DOMs the next day. Especially if I'm doing some incline Smith machine bench press and I hit like a new PR. And my chest is like pumped up and you just feel it. It feels like it's totally drained. Like I have nothing left here. The next day you're not even sore. It's just your body gets used to it. Yeah, you only get DOMs if you're not consistently training. That's true. Take a week off and you'll get some serious DOMs. I remember I took about a month off when I went to a tropical island last year, and all I had was a couple dumbbells and a pull-up bar, which is fine. But when I got back in the gym and I did barbell back squats the next few days, it was very hard to sit or stand. Because you forget you just took a month off, and you forget you want to go back to what you were doing. Not the smartest idea. How come you feel weaker but lift heavier? I don't know, but you know, that's all that really counts, is that you're lifting heavier. I mean, sometimes, you know, you go into the gym and you're super tired, but you got to go anyway, right? You should see progression over time. So that means you're doing things right, even if you feel weaker, but you're lifting heavier. You should see progression over time. That's good. That's a good thing. This thing doesn't feel like it's retracing. You're right. Doesn't feel like it. I think I am going to get stopped out of the short here. I think my man preparing for war is correct, that we're forming a flag. But again, I couldn't not hedge in this situation. Yeah, I love the Smith machine. Shout out to Baby Genius, who likes being sore. Anthony Lee says, the soreness is not an indication of difficulty of the workout, it's an indication of lack of conditioning in a muscle. The more conditioned you are, the less sore you get. I have to say I agree. You hit legs once every 3 to 4 days for years, and DOMS is alive and well. I have to say, legs is the muscle that I get the DOMS in the most. Alright? So, but they're not debilitating. Like, that's the thing. Like, right now, I've got some glute DOMS. If I flex my glutes on the treadmill, I've got some glute DOMS from doing squats. A couple, I think the day before yesterday. But it's not like the kind of DOMS where you can't, it's hard to get up and sit down. Like, you're not going to get that. The lower body, I still get DOMS, but they're not serious. You don't notice them unless you think about them. You're like, yeah, am I sore? Yeah, a little bit. How do you keep waiting for bigger targets? You just gotta plan it that way, honestly. You gotta plan to trade the range. Sorry for ignoring the super chats. J Duff, I'm so sorry, bro. I didn't see your super chat. My streaming software, for some reason, didn't give me a flash on the screen. We also have 2N01 Cal. Man, I missed that ADA entry. ADA Bitcoin pumping too. Shout out to 2N01 Cal for the super chat. I'm sorry you missed your entry. And major shout out to JDuff4936 for the super chat. Yeah, we can check Pepe. We'll check Pepe. Here we are talking about lifting weights, which I do love. All right, I do love lifting weights. Wow, look at Pepe coin pumping. So we were looking at Pepe the other day, saying we're at support. We're at support. And if we can close the daily candle, guys, above this level, that is a change of structure on the daily, which would be our first real sign of strength here, which technically would trigger a long on Pepe with the stop under the low. Target being, well, the first target would have to be 835, but I'd say we pull our local fib here, we could target the golden pocket, which is almost a 5-to-1, and that's assuming we're not coming back to the high of the range. If we come back to the actual high of the range and we take all the liquidity here, then we could be coming up to that previous resistance area around 1695, which is almost a 9-to-1 risk reward. So Pepe actually looks pretty nice right now. The weekly has confirmed the green dot, which technically is a hidden bull div at support. Pepe looks pretty nice. You know, it wasn't looking nice a few days ago because we didn't have that sign of strength, but right now we're starting to see that sign of strength. We're taking the highs, changing market structure here for the first time since May. All right, Pepe showing a sign of strength, changing market structure on the daily for the first time since May, really. This was our last swing high on the way down, right? High, low, high, low, high, low, high. If we don't include the wick, you know, if we don't include the wick. So yeah, it's looking kind of nice. And we have some major bottom signals on good old market cipher B. So I'm sorry for ignoring your super chat, you know. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. You've been walking 5 miles a day on the treadmill while you work, but your quads and calves hurt. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, I mean, maybe try and do some mobility work. Do you lift weights as well? Like, if you just start walking 5 miles, you're going to be really sore. All right, walking is like anything else. Like if I haven't run in a long time. I used to run 2 to 5 miles a day at one point in my life on the street, which is horrible for you. Don't do that. But if I were to do that now, I would have very sore muscles the next day. But if you run every day, you don't get that. So same with walking. Maybe you went too hard too quick, you know. I could walk pretty much forever and not feel anything from it, but I'll never forget a point in time when my brother was very out of shape, and I begged him to go for a walk with me because I love walking. And he went, and the next day he was like literally in pain because he hadn't walked in a very long time. But now my brother could walk forever, you know, so. Was it the literal bottom for dot steak sauce? That. Check. Here we go. We got the sound back. Oh, man. This thing looks like it's about to pump. It looks like it's about to break out. Man, we have a giant cup and handle here. We have a giant cup and handle on silver. I think this thing could pump. Come up to $100. That's the target of this cup and handle. Might hit resistance. Yeah, you know what we need? We need a real cup and handle expert to come in here and tell us. We need a cup and handle expert to tell us if this thing's gonna dump or pump. Do we have any cup and handle experts in the house?
Baby, we're gonna pump. Oh, we're gonna pump. Hey, get me my plunger.
I think it's gonna pump based on what we just saw here. By the way, shout out to Crypto Lifer. Shout out to Sam Price. If you're not subscribed to Crypto Lifer, go subscribe. All right. If you're not subscribed to Crypto Lifer, go subscribe. He has 103,000 subs, man. One of the hardest working TAs out there, period, all right? Dude will do a stream no matter what, all right? no matter what. No matter what's going on in his life, through the good, through the bad, he will come in and do an hour-long live stream, all right? So if you're not subscribed, go subscribe, all right? A cool guy, a good trader. Go subscribe. Yeah, silver looks good. I love silver. Is this sarcasm? No, Sam Price, I really like Sam Price a lot, man. You go subscribe. Go subscribe. He's one of the few crypto channels I actually watch on a regular basis. I watch Crypto Lifer not every day, but a lot of days I do. He goes live at 10 a.m. every day. 10 a.m. every day. I'm usually taking care of the chickens, all right? And if I want to keep an ear on what the charts are doing, I put on Crypto Lifer, you know. Is it better to stay at the system when trading or just do limit buy and sell? Well, I'd say limits, if you're in a position, it's good to have your limit orders already put there, honestly. Do I think fasted walking burns more fat than fed? This is a big all the science people say it doesn't matter because total caloric expenditure is what matters. All right. Now, as a bro scientist, I think that I don't know. I have no idea. I'd say walking is most important. If you're walking at all, it's most important. Here's the thing about fasted cardio, all right? You will have less energy if you're doing fasted cardio, especially if you're doing it after weight training. The walking will feel very difficult. Now, eat a big meal and go for a walk. You're going to have tons of energy. You're going to probably walk faster. You're probably going to swing your arms more. You're probably going to be looking around more, twiddling your thumbs more, curling your toes more while you walk, squeezing your butt cheeks while you walk. You're probably going to burn more calories eating not fasted. Now, that being said, I'm really not a scientist, but I think it's most important if you want to start walking regularly that you walk regularly. That's way more important than whether or not you've eaten something or not. But I do think fasting is very important spiritually and physically. And I do think fasted training has a place. I love fasted training. I love fasted weight training, and I love fasted cardio. I think it's good to do both. Because it causes your body to be flexible to handle whatever you throw at it. If you can wake up early in the morning, having not eaten in 14, 15 hours, right, and hit a heavy squat session, or a heavy deadlift session, or a heavy upper body workout, and you have no problems with that and no loss of strength, that's how you know your body is adapted to handle whatever you throw at it and that your metabolism is working properly because the calories you put in yesterday are still providing your body fuel for what you're doing today. You can't outrun a bad diet, but you can outwalk a pretty bad diet. All right, just throwing it out there. You can outwalk a pretty bad diet. All right, you can outwalk a pretty bad diet. Now, if you have a good diet and you walk, then it's the best. But there have been periods in my life where my diet has been pretty not the best, but the walking has kept me pretty lean, pretty healthy. But yeah, definitely the best is a good diet. All right, shout out to my man. There's an obese personal trainer at your gym. What are my thoughts? Well, look, I mean, do as I say, not as I do, right? Someone could know a lot of stuff, but not have the discipline to do it on themselves. I don't discount that. I don't discount that. But yeah, I mean, it's, you know, look, I don't discount that. All right, I don't discount that. They might have good knowledge. Maybe they have a thyroid problem. Okay, maybe they have a thyroid problem. Maybe it's not a discipline problem. Maybe they have low thyroid. Okay. But it seems a little strange. Okay. It's no different than going to a fat doctor. All right. It's so funny. All these medical doctors are fat. They want to prescribe you a statin for your high cholesterol. Meanwhile, their belly's popping out of their shirt. Like, bro, you're supposed to help me be healthy. You want to give me drugs? You want to give me drugs right now? Come on. You know, a lot of doctors are fat. So, but people trust the doctors anyway. Anthony Lee Crypto, he says, what do you think of the live thumbnail today? My wife was proud of the call. Did you predict the pump, Anthony Lee? Let's check out Anthony Lee Crypto. Anthony Lee Crypto, the David Lee Roth of crypto. All right, let's check out his live thumbnail from today. He said Bitcoin breakout in 24 hours. Streamed 2 hours ago. Did we start the pump 2 hours ago? Yeah, just about that, literally. Yeah, wow, he called that, yeah. Wow, look at that. Anthony Lee Crypto drops a thumbnail and then bam. Anthony Lee Crypto. Let's see if we can't pump his subs, guys. Let's get him to at least 500 subs, all right? Let's get him to at least 500 subs. This is the year chart on Bitcoin. Look at this doji on 2025. Wow, what a candle. I do have to say this. If this candle does not close blue, this will be a big change from the pattern that we've had of, you know, the 3 blue, 1 purple, 3 blue, 1 purple pattern. 3 blue, 1 purple, 3 blue, 1 purple. You know, 3 blue, 1 purple, 3 blue, 1 purple. I guess it's only been 2 cycles, but 2025 should be blue. Another reason to expect a little relief in December and then a bearish 2026. Another reason to expect a bearish 2026 and a relief rally in Diciembre. You try every day to outrun a bad diet? I'm sorry to hear that. How do you put your stop loss in such a high leverage trade? You just do, man. Like, it's really not that high leverage, in all seriousness. I mean, 34x is really not that high leverage. The price would have to pump like over 3% for me to even risk liquidation. So unless it literally went straight up all the way up to $96.9 thousand before I could put my stop loss in, that, I mean, it would have to do something like this before you have a chance to click add stop loss, you know? And speaking of that, why does this long not have a stop loss? It does have a stop loss. Okay, that's good. Yeah, but there's really no risk of liquidation unless price pumps 3 minutes and like 10 seconds. 3% in 10 seconds, which technically it could. Yeah. Is Earth round or flat? Crowbar wants to know. Why don't we take a poll? Why don't we take a poll in the chat? All right. Is Earth round or flat? All right. Crowbar wants to know. This is for Crowbar. Is Am I muted? I'm back. So sorry, guys. I've been muted. Thank you guys for the super chats of mute. I'm so sorry for so. Yo, I don't know what's up with the mic, guys. All right, I don't know what's up with the mic, but I should probably get a new one. I should probably get a new mic. Yeah, we got a serious hardware issue up in the house, baby. If you're still here, you know you're a real Caspian. God bless everyone who's still here. God bless everyone who's still here. Guys, speaking of being here, I have to head out. I wish I could stay all day, because I love each and every one of you. So may God bless you guys. Lord willing, I will see you tomorrow for FOMC with a new mic. All right, God bless you guys. Peace.